Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to the Smallville Retrospective. We're on season 6, episode 12. Labyrinth. Having this has helped me out. Remember that episode of mine. Another name, just another number. So this episode wasn't that bad. It's an interesting story to go with. I think in a show like this, you gotta have an episode where you question it all. If you should wait 6 seasons in to do that, I don't know. But this is one of those. So I think it's pretty well done. Who directed this? I like looking at this. It was directed by Whitney Rancic. Don't know who that is. But so it's interesting. Like if it was, what if this wasn't real? What would have happened to these people's lives had, Clark not come into it? What would it be like if Clark wasn't like he is? Right? It's one of those things. But how are you gonna do an episode like that? Right? You could do a Lex Smith sort of thing, like It's a Wonderful Life thing, like with Lex, like they did. That's just like a different path that Lex took. This is completely rewriting the history of the show as we know it. I think they did a pretty good job with this episode. For what they needed to do, they did a pretty decent job. So, we start off in the barn. Clark is doing chores, I believe. When Shelby, he starts barking. Dog ex machina. They use that dog to bark at ominous things all the time. He forewarned Jor-El at the end of season 4. And now he's doing this. Something comes towards him, knocks him down. But when he wakes up, Clark is now in a mental institution under the watch of Dr. Hudson. Yeah. And everybody in the little circle that he's in seems to know about his abilities. Oh, Kal-El, how do you know that name? What use your super speed to get out of here? But he doesn't have it. He doesn't have a super strength. He is held down by orderlies at this place. What is going on? He is told by this. We get the opening credits, of course. We're told by Dr. Hudson that everything that we have seen so far. In my head, it's in my head. It's all in his head. But it was only just a dream. Yeah, it's all been in his head. He's not superpowered or anything. Yeah. So basically he goes on living this life in his mental institution. When he's in the line for the meds, and a strange man stands behind him, claims that he believes what Kal-El, calls him Kal-El. He believes what he says is true. He believes that Clark is not from another planet because he is also from another planet. He is from Mars. Before he can continue, the orderlies drug him and get him out of there. Then we don't see this man for another 40 minutes. So it's like we set up this guy. Right? Yeah. Well, despite being in a very locked up mental institution, Clark is able to escape fairly easily. He knocks out the janitor. Be nice to your janitors. He knocks out the janitor and disguises himself as the janitor. This wouldn't work. Because, see, in a high security place like a mental institution, they have to have checks going in and going out. He'd have to go through a checkpoint, give the ID of the janitor to get out. It wouldn't work. But for the purposes of this episode, and the fact that we're technically not in the real world, it works. He escapes and directly goes right to his barn where he finds that Lana, is living there. And strangely, it looks just like her childhood bedroom. She's gone cuckoo pants. Well, sort of. She has become obsessed with Clark for some reason. In this world, she never dated Whitney because he was the football jock. And there was some sort of thing that happened when they were kids because, you know, they were both born on this planet, I guess, where he gave her a wedding ring and proposed, and so she's been obsessed with him ever since. So that's the thing. But then she's like, "Oh, you had your treatment." He's like, "No, I escaped." And she's like, "Oh, well, I'm calling him." so he takes off, and he finds himself at Luthor Corp or the Luthor Mansion or something like that, where he finds his mom has married Lionel Luthor. In this world, Jonathan also died. Now, I would say that doesn't make any sense. Because Clark's the reason why Jonathan died to begin with, and why he had heart problems. But it could have been anything. It could have been a car accident, mugging. He could still have died. It's like that episode, what was it? What was that? What was this? I was trying to think of it. I couldn't think of it. There's an episode of a show where the main character goes to a parallel world similar to this. It's not Sliders, but he's like, "Oh, it's Supernatural. What is and what should have never been." That episode. In that episode, John, spoiler alert for the show. So at the beginning of season 2, John Winchester dies. He sacrifices himself to save his boys, to save Dean, basically. And so when Jin gets a hold of Dean, he puts him into a world where everything turned out fine. His mom's still alive, all that. Dad's still dead, though, but it was a heart attack that took him, not a demon. So, yeah, that's probably because they couldn't get the actor to come back. I don't know. I don't know if they even tried to reach out to John Schneider for this. I think it's fine that the character's still dead. It makes sense. But yeah. So, just when you think he's going to go back to mental institution, he's saved by Chloe, who believes that he's an alien from outer space. Outer space. He's from outer space, from space. Believes he's from space. And, yeah. But, Clark believes that Lex is behind this, blaming Lex for everything. So he takes Chloe's car and drives to the Lex mansion, I believe. And this is where we find out that Lex Luthor is in a wheelchair. He has no legs. Apparently, this world, Clark tried to save. He said that Lex's car. Apparently, there was no real accident. Lex's car. Well, it was an accident, but wasn't swerving. He said it was. He tried to stop him with his superpowers, and caused him to veer off the road, flipping over him and crashing. Because they had to come up with some reason where Clark didn't just get hit head on in this version, because he would have died. So he got wrapped around a tree and he lost his legs because of it. Yeah. He then goes to the Talon, where he finds out that it's not a coffee shop. By the way, I want to point out, and they do a thing later, all the characters that he meets in this alternate world are those that would have been there in the first 3 seasons. No Lois, no Oliver, no Jimmy. There's no mention of Pete. But, could they have been like, you scared Pete away with like your talk of superpowers or something? I don't know. But there's no alternate version of Lois. There's no Oliver. There's a mention of him, but it's different. All that. Yeah. And Lana is also at the Talon or whatever it is now, and there's no coffee shop. But Chloe is in her room, And she has a complete wall of weird all around the freaking wall. And this is where we find out she's cuckoo pants. Yeah, because she was also in a mental institution with Clark. And she's apparently cuckoo in this world. She believes Clark because she not out there. And her family has a history of mental issues, which is true in this world as well. Like, I'm not even talking about the mental issues of the real Alex and Mac. I'm talking about, like, they say, although I feel like they will retcon this in a couple of episodes. Yeah, history of mental illness, like her mother and all that. So, yeah. So Clark is taken back to the Hopsicle, where he is in confinement, and he once again talks to the strange man from Mars, who tells him that there's only one way, that he was in his bar and he was attacked by a phantom from the Phantom Zone. And the only way to get out of this world is to kill Dr. Hudson, who is the Phantom. And I don't mean Billy Zane. And of course, as soon as he says this, you already show up and beat him up and take him out of there. Yeah. So, Dr. Hudson takes Clark to his office to get ready for the procedure, where he basically tells him everything you thought was in your life was made up. Jor-El is a hand sanitizer. There's a magazine called Phantom Zone. Oliver Queen is the employee of the month, and it's not Justin Hartley. He's a janitor. Probably the guy he knocked out. Poor guy. How is it funny that the janitor is an employee of the month in a mental institution? Yeah. What else? There's other stuff. There's a doctor in the hospital named Milton Fine. There's a thing that comes over. Dr. Fine, Dr. Milton Fine, Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Milton Fine. Like, it's all stuff that he's been hearing, but none of it's real. He doesn't have all these powers, all that. And Lana is there to convince him to just get the procedure done. We could be together. You could be free. We could be together. And he believes it. And he's about to go through with this procedure, and then what saves the day? The dog barking. He hears Shelby barking in the distance and realizes he's still in the barn. So he beats up the orderlies and kills Dr. Hudson. Although, I think it was a weak kill. You could have... you had a machine there. Stab him with it. No, this is a TV show on network television, so we'll strangle him to death. He wakes up to the Martian Manhunter. Excuse me. To the strange man, I blew it, to the strange man using the Kryptonian crystal on the Phantom to free Clark. His eyes glow red and he flies off. He goes, "It's you." And his eyes glow red, revealing that he is the mysterious person who saved him from Aladar in the episode Static. And yes, this is John Jones, the Martian Manhunter. Yes. So, in this season alone, we've seen the formation of we've seen the arrival of Green Arrow, formation of Justice League, and the Martian Manhunter, all before he's even freaking Superman. Do you see my issues with this show? As much as I love it, they are putting together all this stuff before he's Superman. I can conceive that there would be heroes out there before he's Superman. You have Aquaman, Flash, or Impulse in this case, a Cyborg. All these people can exist before he's Superman, but to bring them together as a team and introduce them to Clark before he's even known as Superman, because of a stupid rule of no flights, no tights. Do you get my point? Or just wait till we get to season 8. It is legitimately Superman without Superman. He's dressing up in a different suit. He's saving people in Metropolis. He's working on a daily planet that is exactly Superman, but they can't call it that or have him be it because of the stupid freaking rule. But yeah, and Chloe arrives and he hugs her happy to see her because, oh, I forgot to mention, she died. Yeah, Chloe is shot by, I don't know, bad guys. I don't know. Who are they? Are they orderlies? Why did they shoot her? Were they trying to shoot him? They could have been trying to shoot him because the whole thing with Dr. Hudson, he's trying to take over Clark's body. So, I don't know. But, yeah. And then he goes to the Talon. And Lana is there despite living. Well, I guess they still live in Smallville, I guess. Anyone else think it's strange? Does Chloe live there? Or is it Lois that lives there above the Talon? I thought it was Chloe, but maybe it's Lois. Because Chloe works at Daily Planet. She's going to have to drive a little while to work on it. But he's happy to see Chloe. He sees Lana at the place. Talon. Which we haven't really seen much of the Talon in a while, I guess. But, yeah. And he tells her of this dream he had where they were 10 years old and he gave her an engagement ring. And she said, what happened next? And I'm like, I woke up. And he goes, I woke up. I'm like, see? Then Lex shows up. And it's a very civil moment where he's like, got to see you out and about. And he goes, wow, you sounded almost civil, Clark. Like, it just, Too bad the next episode is going to ruin that civility. It's not entirely going to be Clark's fault, though, if you know how this works. We'll get there. This episode is a 4 out of 5 Superman logos for me. This was good. We're getting some good ones now. I guess. We'll see. But, yeah, I liked it. I remember the first time I watched this, I was very confused. I'm like, what are they trying to do here? Obviously, it wasn't going to end up with it being all in his head, in my head, but I don't know. They should have played it. Was it out yet? That song by I forgot what the band is, but that song, it's all in my head, it's in my head. Should have played that at the end of this. But, yeah, so what are your thoughts on this episode? Make a comment, so much, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.